Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and I have donned my Marussia shirt once again for a very late Formula 1 review. And the reason it's late is, well, I couldn't really think of anything to say about it. Nothing really happened at the British Grand Prix. It was hugely disappointing. And so when I was thinking of things to talk about, all I could really think about was McLaren, their upgrades, the work they've done. They had a really bad start to the year, and they've put something really amazing together that, at least at the British Grand Prix, has pushed them to the front. Now, we saw at Austria they were definitely moving up, but this was massive at Silverstone. Lando Norris drove fantastically, got past Verstappen at the start, but unfortunately couldn't hold him off, and absolutely 100% deserved his second place. Oscar Piastri, honestly, for such a young driver, and let's not forget this is only his 10th Grand Prix, really deserved the podium. It was unlucky that he got caught out by the safety car. It was a 10 out of 10 performance from both drivers. They were fantastic. It was strange they changed to the hard tyres, but in retrospect, I think that was the right choice. The tyre held on, the softs didn't, and it saw them to the end. It was only about a couple of laps where the safety car finished and Hamilton was on the softs chasing Norris. Once Hamilton used the best of the softs, he couldn't keep up with Norris, couldn't get past him. So the hard tyre was the right choice, and I think it's absolute confidence in that car's ability to warm its tyres up, and it paid off. Fantastic move, fantastic strategy. Now, can McLaren do that every race? It's hard to say. I don't know if this track, the temperatures, just really suited the McLaren. As I said, they were very good at Austria as well, but not on this level. So I'm still expecting them to be around, sort of chasing the Aston Martins, maybe ahead of the Alpines, but they could spend the rest of this season taking points off Ferrari and Mercedes. It'll be interesting to see if they can bring any more upgrades and get even closer to the front. But even if that doesn't happen, this was a fantastic result for the team. Should have been a double podium. Max Verstappen, again, absolutely brilliant, and he has now done what Hamilton never has, and that is win 6 races in a row. And let's not forget, Lewis Hamilton had the most dominant car in Formula 1 from 2014 to 2020, a very long time. He also had teammates who were, let's be honest, they weren't as good as him. And yet, he never, in a 2-horse race, managed to put 6 wins in a row together. That shows how good Max Verstappen is. This isn't something that happens all the time. It's very, very rare. The last time I can think of is Sebastian Vettel winning 9 races in a row, which was obviously unbelievable at the time as well. And Red Bull have done a fantastic job. That can't be taken away from them. Max Verstappen, pound for pound, is the best driver in Formula 1 right now. Best driver, best car, just completely in tune with each other. That confidence, the calmness he shows. Honestly, this is a deadly combination right now. And until developments happen and other cars catch up, I don't think the pack is as far off as results and the media imply. I think Max Verstappen is just someone who gets the best out of whatever he's driving. We saw when Red Bull did not have a car that could compete with Mercedes, the only car that could keep up with Bottas and Hamilton was Max Verstappen. And the car's great, but he is able to push it to 110% and just get more from it than anyone. You can tell because Sergio Perez is not that competitive, and he's not a bad driver. So their gap, maybe there's something with Perez's confidence as well. He's had a lot of knockbacks, a lot of bad luck, but whatever Max is doing, it's working. And can he get to that 9 or maybe even 10? It's only 4 races, and I know we've got the big summer break coming up, but I think it makes the racing has not been very interesting this year. In fact, the development race is more interesting than the on-track racing, and I think that's a very weird position for Formula 1 to be in. The pack chasing him, I mean, I think Mercedes generally have the second best car in the field, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes, especially in qualifying they seem to struggle. But in terms of race pace, they are more consistently up the front of the field than anyone else. Ferrari, it's almost lap by lap. They seem to have pace, and then they don't. And then they make mistakes, or they have reliability issues, the drivers make mistakes. It's been a frustrating year for Ferrari, especially with their World Endurance Championship success this year. There's definitely something wrong fundamentally with that team. And it'll be interesting to see. I think all it takes is something behind the scenes to come together. And I think Ferrari could get a big push. Aston Martin, I think it's always going to be a case of can they keep up in the development race. We know Alonso's a great driver, but the car, they're not just a small team anymore. They have been investing heavily in staff. They have been heavily investing in new infrastructure. Now it needs to pay off. They have to keep Fernando Alonso interested in this product. And I know he's an old man, but he is having his, fourth prime of his career? He is unbelievable. There's no one like Alonso in Formula 1. He really should have had more success than he's had in his career. But he is still, again, like Verstappen, bringing out the best of that car. And they need to keep him around. And to do that, they need to show they can develop the car, bring it to the front and keep it there. Lance Stroll, on the other hand, he had a very scrappy race. It's been the last few races, he has not been great. He's nowhere near the level of Alonso. He's had flashes of speed and he's had good races, but he cannot keep it up consistently, and that's been true throughout his career. He's had periods of being a decent driver and getting results and getting points, but then he just goes on a long run of having bad races. I don't know what it is with him, he's just not good enough. I think Aston Martin would definitely improve with a different driver, but is the owner going to sack his own son? It's unlikely, but I do think that damages Aston Martin. But then maybe Lance Stroll offers something behind the scenes as well. Alonso is going to bat for him a lot, so either he sees something there or he's like, well, if Stroll's there, I can easily beat my teammate. As for the rest of the field, I think Alpine should be doing a lot better than they are, and that has been true for a few years. I don't know if it's just engine power or they just can't get that car working, but they have terrible luck as well. Both cars retired from this race. I think it was a hydraulics failure for Ocon and Gasly got punched out. AlphaTauri, no pace this year. Alfa Romeo, no pace this year. Haas, this was a really bad weekend for them. They not only did not look as quick as they have done at times, but Hülkenberg broke down in qualifying and then Magnussen broke down in the race and burst into flames. Haas, I guess reliability is a thing, although they are Ferrari engines, so you could argue, but Ferrari and Alfa Romeo don't seem to have as many reliability issues as Haas. So I don't know what their issue is, but for some reason, they probably have the smallest budget on the grid, maybe comparable to Williams. I think those two teams. But Williams have had a good run. Albon drove fantastically at Silverstone, and Sargent did as well. But for Haas, it's not there. It's not working. And I can't really say too much about the race because not really a lot happened. So it was the safety car ruined the race. It was quite intriguing seeing how these tyre strategies were going to work out, and then the safety car came out and the top three just got a free pit stop. Ruined the race. After that, there was not really any intrigue other than could Hamilton get past Norris? And could Piastri keep up with Hamilton, I guess. But neither was true, so nothing actually happened. There was a few overtakes here and there, but mostly DRS overtakes or people catching people on bad tyres. And it was dull. It was a very dull race. Perez, I think, will be... let's finish on Perez. He is having a rough run of it, but we can't forget that at the start of the season, he looked like a genuine title contender. He took 2 wins. and it looked like he was going to have a say in the championship. Really, since his second win, since then, he's had a rough go of it. Not all his own fault, he's had a lot of bad luck, but he has made mistakes. At times, it has looked like he's lacked pace. And whilst he did make some progress through the field at Silverstone, it just didn't work out for him and he got stuck in the midfield. If that car is as good as Verstappen makes it look, Perez should be doing at least something near it. And he isn't. So, would it be fair to give someone else a chance in that car? Should they put Ricciardo in the Red Bull and then maybe move Perez in place of De Vries? I don't think so. I think if you put Ricciardo in that car, he's got to get used to it, and it's going to take time anyway. So I think, to the very least, give Perez till the end of the year. Beyond that, maybe have a think about it at the end of the season and see how he does. But other than that, I haven't got really anything to say. This was a very late video. I am doing other videos as well, so more will be coming out this week. This was not a great Grand Prix. I don't think I will ever go back and watch the 2023 British Grand Prix. So with that, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and have a good one.